All right, everyone, welcome back to Optimal Training Group. This is going to be our last video of our travel request application. I'm still going to be adding to it, but this is going to be just the end of the series. But I'm still going to be adding bonus videos, and this is just going to be an ongoing, just adding different features to the travel request. But anyway, so today what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go over how I created a travel request list. So the travel request list is a place where just the admins can go and view and to be able to see where in the process a certain request is. So let's go ahead and get started. And then I'm gonna also show you how do we, now that we're done with our solution, how do we move it to the production environment, because right now it is in our development environment. So after we are done with what I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you how to move it over to our production environment. So this is the travel request list that I'd already created, and all it is just a list, um, you know, showing the statuses of each item, and then you can come in here. You can click on this to edit. I didn't put the functionality behind that. I'll probably do that in a different video. But like I said, this is just ongoing, and I'm going to show you more than just editing an item. I'm going to show you quite a few different things as well, but in future videos. But I just wanted to show how I did this, and I think you all probably know how. This is basically just a horizontal gallery. I started out with a blank gallery, and my headers up here are within the container. So you can see this container here, and it's like a horizontal container. And I think the most important thing to note is, so for example, if I were to move any of these, let me see, let me come here. So if I was to move the order, where's the order? Oh, there you go. So if I were to go move left, right, so let's say I move this created to the right. And as you can see, when I move the label to the right, the data underneath it also moved as well. Let me move it back. And so the way I did that is, after I had created each of my different labels, the headers, I came down here the um, beneath the container, added my labels within the gallery, and I made sure that, for example, the width matches the label. So the name of this label is label created. So I came here and I said, okay, label created that width. So that way it's always the same. And then I also said on the X, label created that X. So I made each of these labels within my gallery match the X and the width of the label. So that way it makes it easier if I start to increase or decrease the width of the headers, or if I moved the header around like I showed you earlier. If I move to the right like I showed you, it'll also move the labels that's within the data that's within the gallery. So I hope that makes sense. So let me show you really quick. So the way that I do that is, let me just create another another screen, and then I just came here and I said insert container. Right, so I have this horizontal container, and then in my container I just add like a label, right? And I'm gonna say test label, and then let's give it a little background color. Let's give it some funky, and centered. Okay, so that's essentially what I did. And so then what I did next is I went here and I grabbed me my um, gallery, but I want a blank gallery. So let's say a blank um, vertical gallery, and then travel request. Okay, and I made sure that it's right beneath. And I'm just gonna use just one. So I'm gonna just one. Let's grab. Come in here and let's do this. Okay, so the trip title. All right. So let me come up here and let's call this. Let's say trip title. All right. Let me do this. Okay. So what I did now is let me give this a name. So trip title. Okay. So I come here and I go to my X and I say trip title dot X. So now my trip title matches this. So and then let me do another thing. Let me also do the width. So I say trip title dot width. All right. Okay. So now if I expand this with if I expand the width, which I don't even see. Here you go, right here. So if I said, 570, oh, that's a lot. 250. You didn't see how it also expands my width. Let me do this as well. So when this expands, the header expands, this also expands. Let me say 450. Okay, so now you see that? And if I had other labels and I started to move it around, 150, this would also move as well. So that's the idea that I've done on this page. So the width and the X also matches the label. So that's what I wanted to show you. Like I said, this application is gonna be ongoing. I'm gonna also be doing some other things. Add into it when an idea comes, or if you guys request something, I can add to it. Say, hey, what about this? What about that? All right. So now that we've done this, now let's move our solution. So we're gonna come over here and save. And don't forget to publish as well. So I can just, so don't forget to publish this version. And once it's published, we're going to go back to our solution. So, okay, it's asking me to save again. So save. And I've already published it. So we're going to come back. Let's go back to our solution. So now we're still in our dev environment. And then, okay, in our solution, right? Let me make sure. Let's go into our solution. Let me make sure. Okay, just wanted to make sure that it was published. All right, so now here I am. Here's my solution, right? So these are all the different components that are within this solution. I have 2 cloud flows. I have my app. I have these environment variables, and these are important to have. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to the solution, click on the solution, and then click on export, and then I'm going to publish. Give that I'm gonna come back once that is done publishing. Okay, it's published. So now I'm gonna click on next, and this is the current version 1.0.0 now. Now this one is gonna be 0.10, and it says manage, which is recommended. And now if we make it a managed solution, it means that once we move it to our next environment, to a production environment, you won't be able to make any changes to it. And if we make it managed, wherever you move it to, you're going to be able to make changes. So if you use unmanaged, make sure you're moving it to like another test environment or something. But I'm going to keep it as managed. I'm going to click on this run solution checker on export, and I'm going to click export. And I'm going to let that, oh, okay, that was fast. Oh, as you can see, currently exporting solution travel. So I'm going to pause and wait for this. It's going to take a few minutes. So I'm going to pause. All right, it is successfully downloaded, exported. So we're going to download it now. So let's download. And show in folder. And as you can see, I've done this quite a bit before. So here is our solution. And now what we're going to do is switch environment. So now that I've downloaded my solution from the dev environment, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to switch to my production. This is my production environment. So there you go. Now, because my solution that I've exported is not, that I just downloaded, it's not unmanaged. It's a managed solution. So it's going to fall under here because I've done it before. So let's come here and click on import. And let's browse. Come here. So I got it. And now let's click next. And as you can see, it shows the version, right? The current version, but it's about to get updated. The solution package contains an update for a solution that is already installed. So I'm going to click next. And even if you're doing this for the first time, it's still going to go through the same process. Now here are those variables. So for my Power Apps link, I put in here the Power Apps for the production environment. Now when you do this for the first time, you're not going to have this link, but it'll still allow you to import, and after you do that, you can go back. At that moment, you would have the correct, you have the appropriate link, and you can always re-import it, export it, and then put in the right link, so you can have that. Because I'm using the Power Apps variable link within my Power Automate. So I'm gonna come here, and because I use this to do the deep linking, so I'm gonna come here, travel request. And I'm going to come here. So it's asking me to choose my different, so basically I'm pointing to these lists in the production environment since I'm no longer in the development environment. So I do that, then I come here and I click import. So it says currently importing solution travel request solution. So let me delete this download one and just let's wait for this. So I'm gonna come back to you. All right, as you can see, solution travel request imported successfully with warnings. So it's been downloaded. I can go check out the log if I need to, but I'm not going to. So as you can see right here, it's there 2 minutes ago. Let's go and test this out. Let me delete this. Don't need these messages anymore. So let's wait for all this to generate. All right. So now here's everything in my production environment. Let me go to my app. And as you can see, because it's a managed solution, see, I can't edit. I can't edit it. Same thing with the Power Automate as well. If you come in here, see, you can't edit it. So if you needed to make any changes, or the customer comes to you and says, hey, I need to make some changes, or gives you new requirements, well, you don't make changes directly in the production environment. You go back to the test environment or development environment, do everything in there, test it out, make sure it works. And if it works and everyone is satisfied, you can then push it to the production environment. And that's why it's kind of good to have many, it's good to have multiple environments. So you can have your development environment, you can have a test environment, a staging environment if you want, and then a production environment. So it's good to have those environments so that you can, as it goes through the process of going through these different environments, you can catch bugs and you can make fixes in the development environment. And then, once the client, you're happy with it, you can then push it through the different stages all the way to production. And that's the proper way to do things, so that you can have the most bug-free production environment that you can have. So let's go back to my app and let's kind of test this out. So play. See, you're using an old version, refresh the latest to the latest. So refresh. So now I have the latest. So I can come in here, click new, and I can say trip title, power platform conference. And I can say Seattle. And I can just say training. And I can come in here and I say from here, so it's a week long. I can put the airfare. Let's make something up here. Marriott. Okay. I can attach a file if I needed to. Click submit. And let's wait for it to come in. I'm going to do this and bring up the Outlook. And let's wait for the notification to come in. As you can see, I've done this, tested this out this morning just to make sure it works. So let's wait. All right, here's my travel. It just came in. Here's the email. Team leads, please review. So they click on review. And as you can see, it comes up. It's in the production environment. Approved. Click approve. And let's wait for the next email to come in, which is supposed to go to the manager. All right, the emails come in. So here's the awaiting manager approval. There it is. There it is. And I'll fix this in a different video. Even though the series is done, there's still going to be improvements to this application. So ignore this div. I know what the problem is. So let's click approve. And let's wait for the last email, well, second to last email to come in. The next email is going to be going to the senior manager. All right. So here's that other video. See, senior manager approval comment. And as you can see, it's also capturing the other comments. I just need to fix this up. So I'm coming here and say approved. And then the next person that should get it is the user since it's been approved. Here we go. So once the senior manager approves, you get this. This goes directly to the user. Your request has been approved. And I can do a whole lot more, but I just wanted to give you guys an idea of how this works. So thanks for watching this series. I am going to provide the solution on my site, so you can use it in yours. You can use it in your sites to look over and to kind of test it for yourselves. This was a lot of hard work on my end, a lot of a few hours. So it may be for a small fee, but if you go to optimaltraininggroup.com, you will be able to download a solution. And I showed you how to, once you get the solution, just go through the steps I went through in the video. What you would do is just go to whatever environment you want to use this solution in. and you just click on import solution, browse to where you downloaded it, and then just go through the whole process. But of course, and make sure you have all the, I just have 2 lists, so make sure the lists are in place, and then just point to that list. And on my site, let me bring this over. On my site, there'll be a get started here. So when you click on it like this, within here you have um, I'll provide the list information and what you need. So you would have the lists. Um, what the data structure or the schema of the list is. So yeah. So thanks for watching this. I think what I'm gonna do next is I think one of my highest watch videos is the employee onboarding. So please join to be a member, and I'm gonna be working on that next, creating videos on that next. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go into details like I said here as far as using Azure, because of my time and work. But I'm gonna go over that. I think the most watch is the employee onboarding video one, because I think I had a series of videos, so I think the number one. So I'm gonna go over that and how I would do that differently. So thanks for watching this video. Please leave your comments in the comments. I love feedback, and any ideas you want me to work on as far as what do you think I should add to this travel request that I just got completed, and what are you looking for the employee onboarding. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys for liking my videos, for subscribing. Please share with others, and have a great day.